Welcome to the City Colleges of Chicago Online Learning Student Overview. These are a few items that we intend to cover during the course of this presentation, and hopefully by the end of the presentation you'll be able to answer all of these questions. The differences between online and face-to-face courses, the required technology, basic computer skills that are needed, how and when to log on to your online course, how to participate and turn in assignments, where to purchase your textbook, the student support services available to you, and who to contact if you have questions in the future. This is a brief comparison between the differences between online learning versus the face-to-face. Online learning provides you flexibility, but with that requires more self-motivation, discipline, and time management. You can't take online courses at your own pace. You have to follow the prescribed schedule that's given, just like you would in a face-to-face course. Short delayed feedback, meaning basically an instructor can respond to you via email, which may not typically happen in a face-to-face. The face-to-face course is more structured and interaction in the classroom setting, of course, occurs. Immediate feedback in the classroom. Physical participation, of course, is required. In both of these environments, you should be respectful and courteous to your instructor as well as classmates. Some courses do, online courses do actually require you to participate in some ways in a face-to-face environment, and those courses have proctored exams, which we'll talk about a little bit later. These are some common myths about online as compared to face-to-face, that online courses are easier. This is not true. In many instances, it can be a little more challenging because you have to be more self-motivated and you have to kind of plan your time. And the time that would normally be in a face-to-face course, you have to make up for that time by reading and doing other activities. Of course, the online courses offered through Harold Washington are not self-paced, which means that you have to turn in assignments on a daily basis, or not on a daily basis, but on a weekly basis. Online courses are for everyone. Some people say, well, I use social media all the time, so I'm a good candidate for online courses. Not necessarily the case. It's for learners who learn on their own and are self-disciplined and well organized. And if these are some weaknesses, it's not that you shouldn't take an online course, but you may have to work on finding ways in which you can strengthen these areas. Online courses are not as engaging as face-to-face. This also not true. And in some ways, an online course can be just as engaging or in some ways more engaging because you'll be using discussion boards in which everyone will be required to engage in discussions and exchange ideas, which doesn't necessarily happen all the time with everyone in a face-to-face course. Online courses don't take as much time as face-to-face. Also not true. It rather requires more time. You're encouraged to spend at least 3 hours per credit hour per week. So for a 3-hour course, you would be expected to spend at least 9 hours. So, of course, as you probably got from the previous slide, time commitment is very important. Spend approximately 3 to 4 hours per credit hour per week. As I mentioned, for a 3-hour course, that would be 9 hours per week. And plan a weekly schedule. This is very important. What I encourage students to do is that even though this is an online course and you have some flexibility in terms of when you need to do assignments, is you should still set a plan and define the times that you're going to commit to actually do assignments in the class. So for example, you may have chosen to take an online course because of you work during the day. So you may decide that your class time is going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. midnight. And with that, in addition, that you're going to check the course on a daily basis, but you're actually do the work and engage the course from 9 p.m. to 12. But whatever your schedule is, make sure that you have one. And of course, we encourage you to keep calm and study on. As you expect in an online course, you have to make sure that you have access to the technology requirements. And of course, you should have a computer or access to one. Having your own personal computer is best, but make sure there's a family-owned computer that you know you'll have easy access to, and be familiar with where the library is or other resources then in case you may use those. You can use Windows or Mac. You can use mobile device to check many of your assignments, but you can't expect to be able to complete a whole online course using just a tablet or a mobile phone. Of course, you need internet access, and you want to keep your web browser and computer updated. And in terms of a backup plan, is that we know that there's always problems, or there can always be problems with technology. So it's not an acceptable excuse that you didn't turn in an assignment, or that you aren't present in the class for a while because you do not because you had computer problems. So you should have a backup plan, and that backup plan may be that you have a personal computer, but you know family, friends that you can go to, as well as the library and computer labs that are available in your area. And of course, the best um, preparation is, or backup plan is, to do your work and attack the assignments that you have early on, so you're not in a crunch at the last minute. Basic computer skills that you should have are, of course, comfortable with surfing and browsing the internet, comfortable using email, word processors, uploading, downloading, saving, and retrieving files, and installing whatever software you may need, additional software you may need. Once you're registered for an online course, you should be able to utilize your ccc.edu credentials. Your same login that you use for Blackboard is the same one you use for your email to access your personal information, and as well as official grades. But you won't be able to access your course even if you register for it until the first day of class. You use that username and password. You don't use your whole email address, just the username, everything before the @ sign. And you should be able to see your courses on that first day by going to My Courses, which is a section that should be up top. It's not showing in this area, but right up in here, you should see an area that says My Courses, and then all your courses will be listed. This is a screenshot of a course, which allows you to see that once you see this menu on the side and this logo, that you have actually logged into your course. Logging into just Blackboard is not sufficient. So, when do you log into your course? Online courses, as I mentioned, should be available on the first day of classes. Online students are required to log in at this present time at least 2 days within the first, for summer courses, within the first 5 days. But coming soon in the following fall semester, you'll be expected not only to log in, but to complete the first week assignments. Failure to complete the first week assignment starting in the fall, can result in an NSW. But currently for the summer, you just have to log in, make sure that you're actively pursuing the course, and you log in on 2 different days within the first 5 days of the class. Failure to show evidence of actively participating in the course coming up to midterm, you will result in an ADW, which is administrative withdrawal. So you just expected to be a good student, complete the assignments as described within the syllabus, and respond to your instructor, and just do what a good student a good student should do. So some ways in which you can act would be considered actively pursuing a course or participating in an online course are, of course, using the Blackboard Learning Management System, and which includes discussion boards, assignments, group assignments in some instances, using Blackboard Collaborate, which is an interactive conferencing tool, proctored and non-proctored exams. And many of the classes don't offer proctored exams, or require proctored exams now, but hopefully we'll be getting you a list to show you which ones actually still are required. CC student email is required, and I think we'll talk about this a little bit later, but you are required to use your CCC student email. All other email addresses that you may email your instructor from is as if you never sent the email. So of course you can access your CCC email by going to my.ccc.edu and putting your credentials in. This is a screenshot of Blackboard Collaborate, and this is how it's set up in your course. Under Course Tools, you can go and you'll see either the ability to join a room immediately, or if your instructor has scheduled proctored exams and they may have them, not proctored exams, Collaborate sessions, you'll see them in this area. These Collaborate sessions, which your instructor is required to at least provide 3 a semester, you are not required to attend them, even though it would be helpful to you. But you are, the instructor is required to provide them to the students. And you can download a app to your mobile device on Android or iOS, which allows you to access those Collaborate sessions. So, of course, there'll be exams and quizzes in your course. Some of them will be entirely online, but for some of our courses, they'll be proctored. And if they are proctored, you should sign up for those in the beginning of the semester. Speech students not enrolled in the courses that are just WW sections are required to deliver 3 speeches face-to-face. If you're taking speech online and it says WW, then you're fine. You get more information and details in your course on how you will perform or do those speeches. As I mentioned, if your course is proctored, this is a link that you can go to, or for all of the links that we provide, you can access them through ccc.edu/ol or www.ccc.edu/ol. And I've noticed lately that you actually have to type that www in or you may have problems. If you are having technical problems using the product, the scheduling software which we use to sign up for your proctored exam, then you can send those emails to timetradesupport@ccc.edu. We currently do not have phone support for TimeTrade, which is the scheduling software we use for students to sign up for their proctored exams. This is a listing of the courses that currently have proctored exams. If your course is not on this list, then all of your exams will be able to be taken from the convenience of your own home. More information about TimeTrade, if you should be able to, if you do have a proctored exam, you should be able to go to my.ccc.edu and schedule your proctored exam right through my.ccc.edu. So, we have an online bookstore throughout the City Colleges of Chicago, and the official bookstore for the City Colleges of Chicago, which includes online, is Academos. This is their website address, ccc.textbookx.com. We do not require that you purchase the books from Academos, but it is recommended that at minimum that you make sure that you visit Academos so that you can make sure that you get all of the um, information about the resources that will be required for your course. Those resources could be codes or lab kits, and you want to make sure that you identify all the materials required for your course. And then in terms of the books, you want to make sure that you identify the edition, the ISBN number, and see if there are any codes that you need to get with the textbook as well. So in addition is that it's important, even though you have the option not to use Academos and use an alternative books source, it's important to note that if you use Academos that you can utilize your financial aid to pay for your textbooks. If you have questions, concerns as you continue through the semester, You have access to tech support. That can be accessed by going to 312-553-2600 or visiting the website that you see listed. If you need an explanation of an assignment or you have questions about the content that's in your course, maybe need an extension, contact your instructor. That information should be found within your course in a link in the menu to the left, which is instructor information. Student support services are available not only to face-to-face students, but all of our students. You can get tutoring online through Smart Thinking, and that link should be in your course on the left menu when you log into Blackboard. Academic advising, of course, you can reach those resources or access those resources on campus. Grades First is a tool that's utilized for advisors or for instructors to communicate with advisors and maybe make a suggestion to your advisor that you may need to get some additional resources or help. Wellness Center, we encourage all students that all of us at some point in time have been stressed or maybe even felt overwhelmed, and we have available at all of the City Colleges of Chicago campuses wellness centers is where you can go to find resources and tools to better navigate and negotiate life and the challenges that come with life, and maybe even finding ways in which you can become a better student by improving your time management, organizing your time, or just dealing with upsets and disappointments, taking tests, a number of issues that you may find challenges with we all may have at some time or another. So we encourage you to utilize those resources. If you've been diagnosed with a disability, we encourage you to utilize the disability access centers that are located on all the campuses. Within an online course, if you have been um, diagnosed with a disability, this can provide you some additional services, which include getting extensions on times for exams. So you want to make sure that you contact them in the beginning of the semester so that you can get that information to your instructors and have the most successful experience as possible. There are library resources that can be accessed, as well as right here at Harold Washington, there's a legal clinic. Links to all of these resources can be found within your course in a link in Blackboard called Student Support Services. Smart Thinking, as I mentioned, is an online tutoring service, and it provides tutoring online with individuals who have 90% of the tutors have a master's or a doctorate degree, advanced degree. And you can drop in, schedule appointments, paper submissions, and questions about submissions. So even if you are taking a course where you have a paper you have to write, you can submit those and get feedback. There's several disciplines in which tutoring is available and encourage you to look at that and explore those resources that are made available to you. So, this is the opportunity to test yourself. Do you know or can you think of some differences between online and face-to-face courses? Hopefully, you're shouting those out or saying them in your mind right now. You should know now what are the computer requirements or technology requirements. How and when do you log on to your course? How do you participate in the course and turn in work? Where to purchase your textbook? What student support services are available? And who to contact with your questions. Now, we'd encourage you to explore our website, which I mentioned earlier, which provides links to all of the resources that we've mentioned today. And this is a link to some resources for Blackboard. Now, that you've completed an overview of just basically the policies of online learning here at the City Colleges of Chicago, now we have provided you a sample course, even if it's before the semester start, as long as you have a user ID, a student email address account, then you can actually log into a sample course so that you get a feel on what it looks like and familiarize yourself and kind of take a personal self-guided tour. What we recommend is that you follow the directions listed below by first going to the link right here. And after you get to this link, there'll be a button that you'll see on the left that allows you to enroll. And then towards the bottom, you'll get an option to submit. And then you want to click OK. This will take you into a sample online course, which you can kind of experiment and navigate what an online course looks like. After you've done that, we encourage you and ask that you complete the survey. You'll find the link within announcements, but also please take the exam that you'll find under tests and quizzes within the course. I hope this brief orientation was useful to you and that you have a great semester, and I hope and wish you have the best of success. In addition, we provided you links to um, messages from students to you, students, and a message from the Academic Online Coordinator, which is one of the instructors that teaches online. So please feel comfortable and free to visit this YouTube link, and you can get interviews from 3 students. And make sure you visit this link and you can see one of our instructors kind of provide their perspective on what it takes and how to be successful as an online student. Thank you and look forward to a successful semester.